up in the corner. There you go.
Hey, just in time. What's up?
Hey.
How are you?
You showed up.
Ooh, I love the mask.
Thank
Right?
you. I was like, what shows up and takes away from my headphones that ruin any look I try and go for?
I also like the unicorn horn. You can never go wrong.
Thank you. Exactly. I even have a buddy. We're good.
Aww.
What are you dressed as?
I'm August.
I love it.
I was expecting
I
that.
like your book covers that you've been doing.
Thank you. This is going to be tomorrow's. I was going to try and photograph today, but the sun went down. So. But you know it early.
Yeah, we do.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if we actually did like a full intro. So, hi, guys.
No, we haven't yet. We're literally just talking to each other and ignoring.
We're just talking to each other. How are y'all? This is why I don't host things. Okay, I guess we'll just go in our little triangle. So
you mean
Heather,
in the correct order of things? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm assuming we're going Heather first.
Yes, there is a correct order, and it's this way.
You're going the other direction from where
No, I'm not, because it's the camera, okay? It's clockwise. It's not counterclockwise. It's clockwise. It's fine. All right, I'm Heather from HandbookTubes, and I am reading something. I'm going to start Badly Behaved by Megan Brandy, which is a new adult, very dramatic, think popcorn, over the top author that I like. This one is a standalone, and if I can find, I'm like trying to find my book cover photo album to try and show you a picture while talking, and it's not going great. But anywho, I think she's like a rich girl, and then he and like his friends. I don't think it's a reverse harem, are like from the wrong side of the tracks. But there's like definitely a scene with like all of them. But I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I haven't even started yet. But it's like my oldest book on Goodreads right now, so I'm gonna knock it out, and I can't find the cover, so move right along past me.
All right.
I'm Jacqueline, and I am probably going to try and clean my room and listen to an audiobook today.
I like it.
But I'm very close to the end of my audiobook, so if I finish that, I will probably start One Last Stop.
That's a good book. Yeah, what's the audiobook?
I'm excited. I've heard good things. Oh, it's Archangel's Son by Nalini Singh.
Oh, okay.
It's the last
just reading
one.
Archangel every live.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish it, the series. And this is the last one until Archangel's Light, which is January. It's really, really good.
So what number is it?
I don't. What are numbers? I think it's 12.
Oh, okay. I was expecting higher than that, so that's not as bad as I was anticipating. If I ever decide to pick it up.
I think I got to book 3 and stopped reading.
Yeah, the first 3 are about the same couple, and they're like the people I care the least about, but I really like the other characters in the series, and so I like struggle through their books just to know what happens.
Yeah.
Cool.
This one it's 13. Yeah, very much enjoying. Annie, what are you reading?
I am reading Yesterday by Tessa Bailey. It looks like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was supposed to read a bunch of vampirian romances, and that did not happen at all. Like this is my first one, and it's taking me so long to get through because there isn't an audiobook for it. And so it's or at least there isn't one at my library, which means that for me there isn't an audiobook. And so that's what I'm currently reading.
Very nice.
I read that one. I didn't read the rest of the series, but I remember that one.
Yeah, I might read the rest of the series. Like I really enjoy Tessa Bailey's writing. I again really struggle when there isn't an audiobook associated with it because I have to actually like set aside time to do it as opposed to, being able to kind of zip through it.
Please report back on the gargoyle book, because
Yes.
I read a gargoyle book recently and I was like, fine, but I am interested in more.
What was your gargoyle book?
It was Flesh and Stone. It was gonna be part of the like monster anthology that didn't come out, and it was like, it was fine. But the hero was like from his ye olden days, and like spoke. I won't read the highlights, but they're interesting. And he like spoke with like the dialect and the like weird speech patterns, and I could tell that it was like supposed to be like sexy, but I was not reading it at all as sexy, so I was like, this is not
I love that. I would just start laughing.
I sent my screenshots to my friend Melissa and was like, I don't think that this is working. But I mean, I did like the writing. It's just that ooh, there are some really good short spooky books.
Smashing the Pumpkin King is the first one that came to my brain.
I read Abducted by the Pumpkin King. It is cringe, but very smutty. Very smutty. So Talia Hibbert's werewolf book is also really good.
Yeah.
Megan the Huntress.
That is something
I need to read that one. That one's on my list. It's not like in my library, and therefore
it's fun. Very short, very
it was all right.
I'm also loving that everyone dressed up.
Yes.
It literally says on the sign up costume.
Mandatory.
Annie, Megan was saying you don't have a booktube channel, you just do Instagram?
Yeah.
That's
very
awesome.
Cool.
I'm like very happy that you
we need
jumped on live.
Yeah.
Well, I've been watching these lives when I can. The problem is that I'm in California, and so most days I'm still technically working at 4:30. Like technically I'm at home right now, but I didn't take a lunch, so it's fine. This is my lunch.
I like it.
But yeah, so I'm always down to like talk books, but I had always assumed it was just for YouTubers, and I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Someone had mentioned, "Oh no, anyone can join if you want to." She dribbles a little bit, unfortunately.
Oh, that's so cute.
That is so cute.
Yes, along with my chip.
Oh my gosh,
I love that so much.
I actually have like an entire Beauty and the Beast setup over there. That's where they know there's Cogsworth, and he's like a real clock, so he actually tells time. And then Lumiere's over there.
That is so cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
I am very happy that I messaged beforehand and asked how much you were dressing up, because there was a part of me that was just like, maybe I do full ball gown tonight. That was a thought that passed through my mind.
I would have been into it.
I would be so into that.
I almost did I have a Christina Aguilera burlesque costume that I made last year. Ooh, and I was like, I think that's too much boob for the internet for right now.
Same, honestly. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing all this cleavage, so I changed.
I love it.
Jackie, you have to show the book, otherwise people don't understand what your costume is.
I am dressed up as August, this one, from One Last Stop.
Which is adorable.
Yeah. I have been enjoying your like photoshopping skills into.
Thank you.
I've been really liking those. Those have been great.
I do it when I have long meetings because I have a lot of them.
That's funny.
Yeah, I do not have those skills. Like I definitely have the outfits for something like that, but I do not have the Photoshop skills to be able to just like, boop, there I am.
Did you see? I went ball gown today.
Yeah,
you could do it even just holding the book though. Like I love like Instagram accounts where they do a full themed photo where I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I'm not doing it, but I want to do that. That looks amazing.
I love it, but God, that's a lot of effort.
Exactly. I am not that dedicated. I cannot lie to you.
I can't even manage to like post once a week, so
I
See,
mean,
I
I
think
bet.
that's where my ADHD hyperfixation really kicks in, because I'm like, I am gonna do this.
Mine
And
kicks
then
in with
I
craft
just
projects.
don't work until 3 p.m. and stay up till like 10, making up for the fact that I spent all day taking photos and recording just two TikToks.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Mine end up being crochet things.
Oh, that's so cute.
I love
I
it.
feel like you would appreciate this, Jackie. I'm currently knitting. I don't know if you recognize it just in a little swatch, but this is the All Too Well scarf that
Aw,
did on her.
you're not gonna buy the like $55 version or whatever that they're selling.
Shocking.
It's 35, and
Is it?
it is one of the easiest stitches ever. And I'm just like, I bet you anything that I could start this now and have it in my hands and done before the people who bought it, because it's not going to stitch.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In July, the side note for Taylor Swift fans, in July, when it was like the 1 year of Folklore, I ordered a crew neck sweatshirt.
Mhm.
And then September, like 22nd, I got told that there was a delay. And then it's supposed to ship like this week, maybe, if things are like going well.
Wow.
So yeah, you're probably going to be done knitting it before they get shipped.
I for a while was making a like vintage version of the cardigan. But I was using the wrong
That is
type
cool.
of weighted yarn. I was using a worsted weight, and I needed to do something that was more closer to like fingering, maybe sports. And so I have to like restart. But I think I'm also just gonna make like the regular version of the cardigan as well.
Yeah.
But no, I spent $6 on the yarn that is required for this.
Right.
Instead of 35. Like I really like, I love Taylor. I love a lot of things that she does, but one of the things that I don't love is the fact that she charges so much for her merch when it's not the best quality. Like if it was a wool scarf, $35, great. I completely understand. It like the ring is especially like because it's like it's not even like sterling silver, it's silver plated, and it doesn't have like an actual size. It's like one of the ones that like you like extend. It's $45. It is $45, Taylor. Come on.
Yeah, you're paying a lot for the fact that it's merch. That's
Well,
that's just a fact.
I think it's interesting because I think I have thoughts. Because like on the one hand, I think because like it's very clearly like not super high quality, that is frustrating. But I also know like a lot of what makes something like luxury is just the name, and it's made at the same like mills and factories that other less expensive, lower price point garments are made at, and it's literally just the name. So I feel like to a certain degree, like yeah, she's Taylor Swift and she can kind of charge that, but I think if it's like particularly one of the like adjustable size rings, I'm like,
well, the thing that kills me is you have like YouTubers with 100,000 subscribers charging like the same for their merch, like the same. Merch in general is just very overpriced, and you either buy it because that's what you want, or like it's not worth it if like you just like the color or something. That's not worth it.
True.
Fine.
I'm reading Snot Girl. I don't know if I actually said that. Hi.
No, you didn't. We're just ignoring you in your quiet little corner.
I'm just here with my little unicorn buddy, watching my dog pace back and forth in the house.
I hope you know I literally despise that manga based on nothing more than the title. Just every time I'm just like, I don't like it.
Well, it's a good thing it's a comic then and not a manga. It reads in normal direction.
You're right. That makes it so much better.
Yeah, it means it's American made.
Wow. America's #1. Everybody knows that.
USA.
Yeah, that's a rough title. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's weird. Tell us what it's about again. I know you did before on a live.
I'm sure I did on something, right? Lodi Person is a glamorous fashion blogger living her best life. At least that's what she wants you to think. The truth is her allergies are out of control. Her friends are terrible people. Her boyfriend traded her up for someone younger, and she may or may not have killed somebody.
It's the allergies.
It's the allergies for me. I feel that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh dear.
I've not heard of this book. Am I just out of
Me
the loop?
either. Never heard of it. And we all know.
Yeah.
I just know all the things.
We have 4 book people here. Someone should know like all books. Like
Yeah,
right?
that for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like, for Jess from Peace Love Books, when she did like the romance book tour live like last week, she had like 10 different people in like different hours that nobody read Romantic Suspense. So I mean, I feel like the 4 of us don't have to cover
I
everything.
feel like you're firing shots now.
You're okay. I'm not firing shots. I'm just saying you can have like 50 people if they all read the same thing, then they don't know.
Touche.
So impassioned.
Oh dear. I wonder
Ooh.
what happened
Okay, now
to
I'm
Ezra.
intrigued though.
Ooh,
Somebody called
yeah.
Tamika.
I mean, Ezra is also on California time,
Mm-hmm.
so she may
It's
just pop in when
Vibe.
she gets home.
We shall see, huh?
Looking this up.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of lost me at dark. I do not really do a whole lot of dark romance.
Oh, my sister read this book.
I love that Carrie knew what it was too. So see, this is what we have our audience for. They know
Yep.
the things.
Okay.
Someone else is a fan of Snot Girl with you over there, Megan.
I will never get
You're
over
not
that
alone.
title.
I know, Bree's my homie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us
We're gonna
why.
play Fall Guys later, so it's fine. Okay, yeah, I've never heard of this. This sounds interesting. It sounds new adulty though, so I'm kind of on the fence.
Mm.
I'll put that as my read later investigation.
There you go.
All right, we should probably actually start reading, right? That's like a
Should
thing that we
we?
do on these. Is that like a thing that we do? Because I just talk nonstop.
Yeah, no,
I do that too.
I feel like it's awkward when we start reading 4 minutes into the live because literally nobody had anything to say to each other. They're just like name, title, and then that's it. Or in the sprint. I'm like, oh, this is awkward. I don't like it.
I really liked whenever Kayla would host lives because she's like 40 minutes, we're done. Did you like your book? 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 Dinner time. Bye. And
I know.
like,
she
yes.
was very on top of it.
Yeah.
I also feel like every time I was on a live with Kayla, there's some kind of conversation about like the specific dimensions of alien dick or like
Yes.
the science of shimmer critters in that one Nicholas book where he's a satyr. Like there's always some bizarre and I love it.
It's
very on brand.
Critters. It is. I usually end up helping with those alien dick discussions because they have such interesting descriptions.
Yeah.
They do. People are, you know, innovators.
They are.
Yeah. So I've told this story a couple of times, so I apologize if I've this before. But I got a requested many a Berkeley romance book and have been rejected from all of them. But the it's an imprint of Penguin, and one of the there's like a so Lindsay Ellis, she wrote an Alien series,
Axiom's End.
Yes. And I got approved for the galley of the second book, which is out. It's already out now. I haven't read it yet because I'm, kind of a mess. But that's how it goes. And I was just like, why did you give me this book? Like, I have requested many a romance book. I have an audience of people who like romance, but like instead you give me sci-fi.
The worst.
Maybe there were less requests.
It's probably. But there was
Mhm.
also a tweet that Lindsay Ellis, someone had written a review, and the quote that Lindsay Ellis had put out and tweeted was, "The question on everyone's mind is, do Cora and Ampersand fuck?" And I retweeted that with the caption, "So this is why I got approved for the galley."
That's funny.
I feel like NetGalley arcs are a mess because like you can't turn them down. Like I am not the participant. Okay. I was like, nope, too much pressure. But like you can't turn them down, and or like if you didn't like it, or like if you don't like it like 5 pages in, or you no longer have any interest in reading it or any of the things, there's like nothing to do about it. And they're like, your score sucks. And I'm like,
Also, Viz always rejects everyone for their manga. Like 95%
Oh, really?
of people that request their manga, they reject. It's very sad. At least that's my assumption, because every person I've talked to, except for Shay, who literally
I was gonna
gets
say,
like
doesn't Shay get their stuff?
She's the only one I've ever talked to in like the manga sphere that has gotten their stuff.
She's also she owns like 5 million titles, so
I was like, it's a conspiracy.
It is a conspiracy. Oh, see, I felt like I read the second book of Havoc. I read the second book, and by that point, the inner monologue was killing me. I was like, this is so repetitive, and I still haven't continued. But I know like a lot of people who liked like the beginning, loved the whole series, but so I need to get back to it at some point. We'll see.
I really want to read Gothicana.
Gothicana has some pretty severe content warnings for schizophrenia, dementia, suicide of a loved one.
Damn.
It's not like completely focused on that or anything, but like her mom is in a psych ward, and she hears voices and stuff like that. And there's definitely a mystery around people committing suicide when they seemed fine before. So
I mean, I want to read it a little less now, but I still kind of want to read it.
I was a little triggered, but I did love it. Like, it is really good. The writing is very, like, I feel like you're in it from the first page. You really does a good job, but yeah.
What are you thinking about The Bride? Because that was not a book that I enjoyed.
Did you like The Secret when you read it this summer? It might just be she's not an author for you.
Yeah, no, I got that vibe. I think for me, the problem that I have is the fact that like she writes heroines that everyone loves all the time. And that's
like in the book.
Yeah, like in the book. Like it's like there was literally a moment in The Bride that I was reading where like a servant just like could not talk to her because he was just like enthralled by her beauty. I was just like, you talk to her on a daily basis.
Like...
You're telling me that like you cannot find the words every single day that she talks to you. And like it's a very like she does not know how beautiful she is, but everyone is like captivated in love with her. And I'm just like,
no.
That's not for me. It's not for me.
I guess it's getting old.
I feel like that's a thing you're really into when you're around 14. And then after that, it gets to be a little... Because you're like, maybe I'm not hideous. Maybe I just don't know how beautiful I am. And then you like grow up. So it's fine.
Or you're just like, hashtag not like other girls.
Pick me.
Oh, God. I used to be one of those girls.
I feel like we all did at some point.
I feel like that's
every girl. Yeah.
Like that's like just like severe insecurity and like wanting to be exceptional. Like that's just adolescence.
Listen, I'm the only person who has liked the video, so I felt like it was important to go ahead and remind people. I was like, am I still the only one? Because I forget if I already did
subscribe. Or not. Actually, like subscribe and follow all these people. These people are cool.
I mean, that's true. We are.
Okay, should we read? It's been like
should we read? We're literally like the longest start ever.
I knew this was gonna happen, so it was fine. It was either that no one was gonna show up, and I was gonna be like, "All right, guys, sprinting by myself in my unicorn horn," or it was gonna be we just never end up sprinting.
Yeah,
that's how I like to live my life. Never sprinting.
It's like my memory. It's either in there for the rest of all time, or I forget it 5 seconds after I heard it. There's no one.
These are, well, I just lost the word I wanted. relatable. These are relatable issues. That's what I was trying to say. Oh dear.
I feel that. I had
Yeah.
like plans to read so much like spooky monster stuff, and what did I do? I binged cozy mysteries the entire month.
Oh,
I've never
I
read like cozies in my life, and I was just like, you know what sounds good?
Huh.
Reading as many cozy mysteries as humanly possible.
I love that for you.
I haven't never read a cozy mystery either.
I've
They're
liked
fun.
a good chunk of them. A couple of them I was just like, no, or I got like 10 minutes in to like an audio for it, and I was like, next. And then one of them was like, it felt like it was written in 2003, but it was written in like 2017, so I was very confused.
Interesting.
Fun times.
Like I was like, just because it takes place in the South doesn't mean you should be that like racist / homophobic. Just saying.
Says the person who lives in Texas.
As the person who lives in the South, who lives in arguably the worst state currently.
Arguably.
I should do a cozy vid along with like all the other videos that I haven't posted this month. This will be the only video on my channel this month. Hi, you're welcome. It's a live show. The day before my birthday.
Oh, happy
Because
birthday.
I wanted to do that.
Happy almost birthday.
Thank you.
Are you doing anything fun?
Oh, I'm working. That's all.
And she's going out to dinner.
Hopefully, or at least getting food. If not going out,
What do you mean hopefully? Earlier was a thing. Now it's not a
because
thing?
if it's like heckin' crowded in my vaccines are a plot from the liberal government city, like I'm just gonna pick up food and go home and watch like It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown with the spouse instead.
That is valid.
Yeah,
I will give you that.
That is very cute.
Listen, go ahead.
Oh, I found this video that was all about like spooky things for people who hate horror movies, and I was like, because the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown was on there, and I was just like, man, I haven't seen that yet this season. That will be a thing that I will watch this season.
It's free on Apple TV if you have their like whatever membership, and I do because I bought a really expensive phone from Apple, so I have it for a year.
There you go.
Yay you.
Yay me.
I haven't picked it up yet, even though there's a bunch of Apple. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
I have
Go ahead.
because even though there's a bunch of things that I want to
Oh no,
from
You're breaking up.
no lag.
Lasso's on there.
No.
I think it's me.
Yeah.
It was like really dragged out, and then it like did all of it in like a second.
Yep.
But you were trying to watch
like,
Ted Lasso, right?
Yes. So
fine.
I will. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I can usually find it on like some place, and I will enjoy it. So at some point, I should probably just get the DVD of it and just like have it as like a thing that I own.
I've been watching Ted Lasso because my parents got Apple TV because they got an expensive phone. And I was like, hey, what's your Apple TV password? You know, just curious. It's Lasso Laughs. Like they only signed up to watch Ted Lasso. I was like, oh, you cute.
That's adorable.
People.
I love that.
I haven't watched it.
Great show.
I have like an iPhone and a Mac and stuff, so I probably could, but I've never bothered to sign into Apple TV, so there's that. So I'm a procrastinator. Megan, why don't we just do like a slightly shorter sprint?
It's a good idea. Let me just change that to a 30-minute sprint instead of a 40-minute sprint.
Yeah. So that's really funny, Jackie, because all of my passwords are Taylor Swift related.
Yeah, I love that. I like that.
Okay, I'm gonna need to follow you on Instagram. Do you have pictures of this?
I mean, like I have pictures of stuff. Like, I post quite
Do you have
frequently.
pictures of your Taylor Swift cross stitches? That's what I need.
So I have like a story highlight that like shows my time like knitting stuff. And I've started posting a lot more knitted stuff on TikTok because I know a lot of people follow me for like book stuff. And so I'm trying to like separate the
Diversify.
two. So like, yeah. So like my TikTok has like my Taylor Swift knitting journey, though it only has 2 videos right now. So we'll see. We'll see. I have
I crochet. Knitting takes too long.
Yeah.
I buy stuff from the store. That's just who I am.
Store. That works, honestly. Like I tried knitting a sock. This is my sock. Let me take off this for a second. This is my sock. It started a month ago. This is the sock. It's done. I can't knit.
That is really bad. Really bad.
3 days of work? Something like that?
What?
This is like 3 days of work, I think.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, like I'm crocheting a sweater and it's like more than halfway done. So, and I started it like 3 days ago. I just can't knit.
I can't crochet to save my life. I learned how to knit when I was like 16 or something like that. And I tried to pick up crocheting when I was like 22, and my brain is just like, I don't know what to do with only one needle. What is this?
I was like very amateur in both for like a year or so as a teenager.
It's fine. We haven't sprinted yet because chaos. But also,
I knitted in high school and college, but I exclusively made scarves because it was just straight.
straight.
I'm on the spectrum, and I need a outlet for like extra fidgetiness. So knitting is what I do. So like you'll see me in internal meetings, and I'll be knitting. So I've made several a sweater through like long meetings at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that through college. I would crochet through my lectures and they'd be like, you're not paying attention. And I was like, ask me a question. And they did, and I'd get it right. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to continue doing this now.
Oh, I love that. Anytime someone's like, do you know this? You're like, ask me. Energy. So powerful.
I usually would just tell my teachers, like, hey.
Listen, Megan doesn't have enough authority over us. She just quietly letting us continue talking.
I think Megan wants to chat.
I love chatting.
Megan
like,
I think if Megan wanted to exert authority, she could.
The one live show I posted was like 3 hours long. And so I just I don't. Like, someone else had to end it. It's a problem. I don't know how to stop.
I feel like I caught the very end of that and just like was there for the trying to go away part.
I think you were there for when Steph and Charles stepped in and we were like, okay, bye guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a similar experience with the reason why I started Bookstagram was because I was asked to be the host on the Bridgerton like the romance book squad with like Jess, Crystal. Oh God, everyone. People know. And they were like, "Oh, we'll keep it short. I know Jess has to go to bed early," and we ended up talking for almost 2 hours. Like you look at this live show, and the rest of them are like an hour long, but the one that I was on, it was like 2 hours.
That's because we got all the talkers in this one.
I know.
I like it.
I'm always like, am I the problem? All of my live shows go really long. I might be the problem.
You know that? What's the TikTok audio? It's like, am I the villain?
Am I the drama? Am I the villain?
I don't think I'm the drama.
Love that for us.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Let's sprint, guys. 30
Let's
minutes
sprint.
on the clock. We're going a little shorter because we like to talk. Okay.
Still talking, I see. It's fine.
Ready, go.
Fine. Go.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
I wanted to wear my comfy jumpsuit, so I put on a crown instead. Costume.
I like it.
Love it.
Yes. So how was y'all's reading?
This chair
Great. I finished my audiobook,
Woo!
but the new crisis is that I need a new audiobook series to binge.
Life is hard.
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly.
I got 5% into Badly Behaved.
Oh.
And apparently they are also rich, but are the bad boys in town. I don't know. It's very confusing. They just threw her in the ocean. I don't know. It's their only interaction so far.
Casey, I also read An Evening at Crystal Lake, and that is a wild book. It's no plot, just smut. Fully.
It's what you need. It's what you need.
Sometimes you just need smutty sweat.
The premise is essentially this woman and her partner are taking like horror movie inspired photo shoots. Sorry, I'm also folding laundry right now. They're doing horror movie inspired photo shoots, and someone comes up dressed up as Jason, and he's very intense and hot. And then they bang it out.
Happy for them.
Love it.
Oh,
I
good.
got through about 20%, or not 20%, 20 pages of this. I didn't read as fast as I normally do because I had to wake up early this morning because I had to be out in the fields, and sitting in this very comfy chair, I was just like, oh, is it that long?
I always fall asleep in this chair. I understand. Are we just gonna have like a series of smutty slasher-ness? Because I feel like
I wouldn't be
that's happening.
surprised. I mean, I would read. It's very short.
Yeah,
You know. Low commitment on KU.
it's fair. It's fair.
I don't know you.
I don't even like horror movies, but I was like, okay, fine, yeah.
I also am not a huge horror movie person.
I'm a scaredy cat, fully a scaredy cat, and I can admit that about myself, but it just means that I don't do horror.
Me neither. It's really funny. It drives my boyfriend insane because he's just like, you like doing Halloween things, but they can't be scary.
Different. Spooky is different than scary.
Yes.
Spooky is fun.
Yes.
I love the series. It's a solid series.
Oh, I haven't read it.
The Night Huntress series. I like it. Good.
It's fine.
It is not my favorite series, but it is a solid series.
I read like the first one. I read the Night Prince one though.
Mm-hmm.
That is
The
a
one with-
spinoff. I read that whole series first, and then I went back and tried to read that one and wasn't as into it. So I just read the first book.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, I've seen that wrecked on TikTok quite a bit. Interesting.
It's like an ongoing series with the exact same couple.
I can't do that.
The first book is more of a happy for now, I'd say, if I'm recalling correctly.
I feel like
it
I can give
it ends on a cliffhanger.
I can give them max 3 books, and then I'm like, oh, why do you have so many problems? I thought we solved these for you.
See, I can do it if it's not like that. If we're not going back to square one or having a breakup every single book. You can have the first couple books to get your act together. Yeah. And then if you're a couple through a longer series, the rest of the drama is being handled as a couple. Yeah. That is not threatened by the drama. They're just trying to stay alive. And
if it's like paranormal or something that's like driving the plot other than that, because if it's just like constant relational stuff, this is tiring.
It is. Agreed.
Yeah. I don't know. I like very sweet stories. without a whole lot of drama. Like I can deal with angst. Like I definitely love the like mutual pining. Like when I read
Have you read Saint by Sierra Simone? Because boy, talk about mutual
when I read
pining.
chapter 16 of the Love Hypothesis, I was just like, please, why couldn't it have been a dual point of view so we could have gotten the mutual pining? Because she was just sitting there going like,
Well, she wrote his POV of chapter 16. Did you see that?
Yes, no, that's what I read that, and that was what prompted the like, oh, I want more of that. I will say, I did enjoy reading her fan fictions. I'm not like the biggest Raylo fan in general.
Okay, question. I have had a question for people who read her fanfic in the book. Are her fanfics smuttier?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Because I was wondering if she had to tone it down. Because,
Usually.
oh, that's such a sad day for me. Sarah Hawley of the Wicked Wallflowers Club podcast just got a deal also with Berkeley, and it's like a witch demon book, and it sounds really good. And I've read Sarah's fanfic, and it's very smutty and very excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, they're probably going to tell her to tone down the smut too.
Yeah. No, it's like
cruel world.
Yeah, no, the one that I read that I ended up using for the spooky bingo, it's like a lot of sex and a lot of feelings, which is exactly
wow,
what
I love that. That's a sweet spot.
but it's also very, very piney. It's a Alpha Omega fanfic.
Oh, speaking of Alpha Omega, I found Lindsay Ellis because of this is circling back. Lindsay Ellis because of her YouTube channel, but she has a fascinating breakdown of
my God.
the Omegaverse.
Yeah,
truly. But Lindsay Ellis has a fascinating hour-long breakdown of Omegaverse lore, and also it's two. And then specifically the whole thing with
Addison Kane.
And it is a wild ride. I watched it, I think my sister and I were talking about it, and she sent it to me at like 1 a.m. And then an hour later, she was like, "Isn't that wild?" And I was like,
"Yeah." It was so. I'm part of a book club that isn't like I have other book clubs besides my romance ones. And one of them is a kind of whatever book club. Like everyone pitches books and we read what people vote on. And I was pitching really hard to have like a romance book in there. And right as I was working on that, that was when all of that came out about that. And so they were like, "Do you have thoughts?" And I was just like, I mean, fan fiction is slightly different than romance, and like the drama that's going on is like slightly different. But it was very interesting, and because I was talking about how a lot of people like write off romance because it is like a woman. It's fiction that is written by women for women, and you know that misogyny.
Well, and it's like it's for I would say it's like for marginalized people, in that like those who have not always found an HEA, including like queer people, including
correct
marginalized identities in terms of like race or like disabilities, like it's
right. Although,
umbrella.
If we're going to be honest, the romance community is not great at actually being inclusive in that way. Because if you follow any marginalized author on Twitter, whether that's because they're Black or non-binary or trans or disabled or neurodivergent or any of the things, they will tell you, look, romance readers are just as judgy as every other, and just as racist and just as ableist and all the things as every other group of people. So, that's why you, as an individual reader and or influencer, should go out of your way to read their books, because the majority will just read whatever's put in front of them, and that is going to be mostly white, able-bodied, straight.
It totally
women.
is. I did I got really into spreadsheets over the last year. Not like in general, but specifically reading spreadsheets. A wild ride. Very much recommend.
Megan, do you do spreadsheets?
I tried.
Okay, never mind.
I'm like a little behind on mine. But I like actually started tracking a lot of like, okay, like what percentage of books that I read are by people who are not white, are by people who are not straight. And like even though like I think of myself as like reading beyond like straight cis abled white people. But it was like so much of what is at the fore is just that.
Yeah.
And like
Yes.
like unless you're actively thinking about that, like all of the books that are going to be shoved in front of you will be a bunch of white people and maybe Alyssa Cole, you know,
right, and
or
Beverly
Miss Beth.
Jenkins.
The thing that I struggle with is I read a lot of historical, and Storygraph is really great. If you guys like, I really love Storygraph. I switched over from Goodreads. The only reason why I'm ever on Goodreads is because that's where all of my friends are. But like, if you look at my Goodreads, I haven't read anything since March, which is definitely not true. The thing that I run into with in terms of that is I read a lot of historicals, and if you read a lot of historicals and they're like historically accurate with the way that marginalized groups get treated, I find the end to be a very fraught ending, and it feels very fragile because there is that reality that kind of like closes in, and there's this feeling of just like, I want these two to be happy, but like given the way that like the Civil War went, the fact that a white man and a black woman are together, that there's a part of me that's fearful for that. And what I really hope with Bridgerton is that we get stories where like Dukes and whatever are just like a person of color, and that's just like a thing. Whereas instead of it like being instead of adding like that historical context into it, where it's just like a story where like a person of color can just be happy. One of the things that I really like about Cat Sebastian is that the happily ever afters feel a little bit more solid for some reason. I think because there isn't.
But I mean, there's still like, it's not an AU where suddenly being queer is okay. Like they still very much exist in the real world. I think it's just that it centers the queer experience in a way that, and like, unless it's, I'm sorry, I have a thought that is frozen in my head, right? But like a lot of historical books center whiteness, even if they're about people of color, because they're set in England and most, you know what I mean? And I think
historical romances tend to be very Eurocentric, and they tend to be very white. It's fine. There are definitely authors who are doing the thing, but you kind of have to dig a little bit more for them. I know that, and this is another one of those things where I feel like that's why it's important who you follow, not because it's like, okay, I can't follow you because you read majority white books, but because if you do follow people who read diversely, then the recommendations, those books that are coming in front of your eyeballs that sound good to you, will automatically have more of a diverse thing because the person you're getting recommendations from goes out of their way to make sure that they're not just reading white, cis, all of the things. So for me, what, again, like you were saying, Jackie, when I first started paying attention, I was like, oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. But then like you won't read diversely accidentally. You won't. It will not happen. If you are just like, oh, well, I just read the books that sound good and I don't pay attention to who the author is. And if it's a good book and it's by a black author, I'll read it. But if it's a good book and it's by a white author, I'll read it, which is what a lot of people think, because they think to themselves, well, I'm not going to read it just because a black person wrote it. But the problem is most of the books that you are going to see are by white, able-bodied, cis, straight women. If you're reading romance specifically, that's what the majority of them are going to be. And that's not the only people that are writing it. So it's up to you.
Even like I know, Annie, you were talking earlier about like a lot of what you read is what you have available at the library. And I'm the same way, particularly with audiobooks. But like, it is difficult to find audiobooks because I think they're more expensive. So like when I'm like looking through the library list, it's just like white people, white people, white people, white people, and like,
Right.
and then Kat Sebastian, and maybe Olivia Waite in terms of like queer, you know what I mean? Like it's very much like what's available, and it's because so much it's just predominant in publishing.
Yeah, I will say, in terms of library stuff, for those of you who do not know, it is my mission to tell everyone, if you live in California, you can get a library card from any California library in the state. It is because it is funded by a state program, and as part of that, any California resident can get any library. So I have like 11 library cards, which is part of the reason why I can get some more indie type things. The ones that bother me are the ones that are like Amazon exclusives, like Audible exclusive books. I'm just like, curse you,
Jeffrey Bezos.
He rules our lives.
He did it, man.
Yeah. Going back to the point that I was trying to make, I think for me, I read a lot more diversely when I read contemporary than when I read historical. And I think it's because I get triggered quite easily by trauma. And so many books are, I hate Audible exclusives, are the worst. So many like historical romance books, if they feature someone who isn't white, straight, whatever, a lot of the story center around trauma, and that is a very like difficult experience for me. Like I love Beverly Jenkins, like she writes really amazing books, but her prologues like destroy me, and I have to like take breaks while I read her books because they can be so stressful. And I think for me, when I read like more contemporary romances, the story is less around trauma and more just about like the love story between the characters, which is like my type of story.
I mean, I think you can find, I guess it depends on what kind of trauma, because I feel like you can kind of find that anywhere with romance. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean,
there's also, if you want non-traumatic historical romances, did you read Alyssa Cole's The Wild Knight, Agnes Moore's Wild Knight?
I have not. It is on my.
It is a novella. It is Scottish hero, and the heroine is Black, and he immediately sees her and is like, yeah, her. I'm in awe. And it's a novella, but it's really cute. And then this one's historical. Both of these actually are historical AU, but KJ Charles' Magpie Lord series is a really fantastic male. Really fantastic male. Actually, I don't know if that's non-trauma, but it's just it's fun, and it's historical. But there's one I was E.E. Ottoman's Opponent. Of course, I can't remember the title now, but it's A Matter of Disagreement, and it's male and historical AU, and one of the heroes is trans. And it's very good.
Yeah.
Courtney Milan also writes.
Yes, I love Milan. I read a lot of Courtney Milan. So there are some authors that I have found. And to answer the question of like what the individual, like I just get really triggered by violence. Like I find that it's part of the reason why I stay away so much from dark romance, because even if it's not like violence within the relationship, the fact that it usually is the hero can be so violent, I'm just like, this is not what I like. So like everyone is like, oh, Kerrigan Byrne's so great, and I'm like, yeah, except for all of the death.
Ooh, I've heard really good things about The Doctor's Discretion. I haven't read it yet, but I really want to. And The Companion. I really want to read The Companion. I've heard really good things, and I've heard it's like moody, and it's great cover.
I have not heard of this. I now need to check this out.
Oh no.
Oh no, Heather.
Ruh-roh.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you skipping still?
We'll see if that affects that. Anyways. 2 minutes.
I hear your voice and I don't see you moving, so it's not looking good for the
Straight.
home team.
Oh.
But also it's 8 p.m. and I want dinner.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to cook dinner with my boyfriend. I'm very excited.
Close this out, May.
All right. Thanks for joining us, y'all. This was
Yeah.
fun. I hope y'all had fun, because I had fun.
Mhm.
And I guess we'll see y'all next
for
week. I
hosting.
don't know who's hosting. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I
It
don't think
is-
anyone signed up yet for
Yeah,
hosting.
no one signed up to host.
So if you want to host, sign up. Even if you're not a YouTuber like Annie, Instagram person, you are more than welcome to join. The more the merrier, for sure.
It would be hard to host if you're Instagram only, because then
Yeah.
his channel
I mean,
would be
yeah.
on. It wouldn't be on anyways.
There's that.
The host
You
probably
make
needs to have
a fair point.
YouTube channel, but the participants can be anybody
Yes.
with a
Technically, I
webcam
have
situation.
a YouTube channel. I did try to make vlogs, and I look at them and I'm like, man, that was cringy.
Feel that,
Oh yeah,
honestly.
no! Don't watch your
Don't
own
watch
videos.
your videos. It's hard enough when I edit my own videos. I'm
Edit,
just like,
honestly.
why do I sound like
yeah,
that? Is that my voice?
I usually record at least
just getting through
re-record the
editing.
beginning a lot. Because I'm like, I hate starting videos. I always have to do it again like several times because I'm like, I sound so awful. What am I doing?
Yeah. I think
Yes.
Not me, man. I have a formula and I stick to it.
I
Best
think
holiday, Halloween.
Happy Halloween!
Oh,
I think-
thank you. Editing is the worst.
Yeah, editing. I hate editing so much. I think for me, what I really struggle with is like naturally I can talk fairly okay, but like, and the thing is sometimes I can just talk at someone and like them not really be like it's just me monologuing. But the moment that it's like a camera that I'm monologuing to, I'm like all of a sudden like, how do words work?
Yeah.
And on that note, have a wonderful Halloween.
Yeah.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.